Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission really is to cut through all that noise around AI.
There's certainly a lot of it.
Exactly. We want to give you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed on some key developments from just this past August.
Sounds good. What are we covering?
Okay, so we're hitting three main areas. First, Australia. They're having this ongoing debate about how to regulate AI. It's quite interesting.
The regulatory angle. Always complex.
Then second, a big new model dropped. DeepSeek R2. Heard about this one.
I have, yes. Significant release.
And finally, we'll look at AI's role, its really growing role, in space exploration. Think humanity's ultimate frontier.
Fascinating stuff. From policy down on Earth to finding planets way out there.
Precisely. These are, key moments shaping AI's ethical side, its scientific future. So let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
All right, first up, Australia. They seem to be taking a, well, surprisingly cautious path on AI regulation.
Cautious is a good word for it.
Yeah, there was this interim report from their Productivity Commission. Came out August 12th, I think.
That's the one. And it definitely made some waves.
It really did. The main argument basically is that specific laws just for AI, they should be a last resort.
Last resort. That's a strong stance.
It is. And their reasoning is they're really worried, it seems, that putting rules in place too early could, stifle innovation.
Right. The classic innovation versus regulation dilemma.
And they don't want Australia to fall behind the curve, which I guess makes sense when you see the numbers.
What kind of numbers are we talking?
Well, the projection is that AI could add something like $116 billion to their economy over the next decade.
Okay. Yeah, that's a huge incentive to be careful about restrictions.
Definitely. And you have the treasurer, Jim Chalmers, talking about finding a middle course, trying to balance innovation with protecting workers.
A familiar tightrope walk for governments everywhere, really.
And we saw reactions online, too, right? Like at Policy Tech on X. Praised the caution, but also pointed out, hey, Australia might lag behind the U.S. and the EU, who are already moving faster.
That's the risk, isn't it? What's your take on how this compares globally?
Well, it really throws the different global strategies into sharp relief, I think.
Yeah, it does, because you look at the U.S. and it's much more, well, fragmented state-by-state laws popping up.
Right. And then the EU is way out front with the AI Act, trying to set a standard.
Exactly. Very proactive. So Australia is saying, let's wait and see. Prioritizing that immediate innovation boost, it's a gamble.
A high-stakes one.
For sure. It could work out, make them an attractive place for AI development, or...
Or they could end up playing catch-up later on.
Yeah.
The tricky stuff, like bias, privacy.
Precisely. Those ethical concerns don't just disappear because you delay regulation. It's a really interesting balancing act to watch.
Okay, so that's the regulatory side, the guardrails being debated. But what about the tech itself, when it just takes a massive leap?
Good transition. Because that definitely happened in August, too.
Right. DeepSeek R2, launched August 11th. This thing sounds like a powerhouse. What jumps out at you from the specs?
Well, the first big thing is that it's open source and multimodal.
Okay, unpack multimodal for us quickly.
Sure. It means it's not just text. It can handle, understand, and even generate stuff across different formats, images, text, code, kind of all together.
Wow.
And it's got 500 billion parameters.
That's huge. Puts it up there with the biggest models around.
Yeah.
Real top-tier stuff in terms of scale and complexity.
So not just big for the sake of being big, it's capable too. Smart and efficient.
That's the claim, and the early numbers look good. It's optimized for reasoning, apparently. Scored 96% on the MMLU benchmark.
MMLU. Remind me. That's the big general knowledge test.
Yeah, it covers like 57 different academic subjects. A 96% score is really, really strong, almost human expert level performance. Puts it right up against models like Grok 4.4.
Impressive. And the efficiency part. That's also key. Hugging Face evaluations suggest it cuts token costs by 20% compared to their last model, R1.
20% cost reduction. That's a pretty big deal for anyone actually using these things. Right?
Oh, absolutely. It makes that level of AI power much more affordable, more accessible. It's like getting more compute power for your money. Very appealing.
And it's not just theoretical. We're seeing it used already.
Seems so. Reports mention it being used in China's autonomous shipping industry.
Autonomous shipping, wow. Doing what?
Improving route optimization, apparently by about 25%, which is a solid gain.
Okay, so real-world impact pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
And people notice the affordability online, too.
Yeah, at Tech Trends was quick to highlight that aspect. This definitely boosts China's presence in the open source AI scene. It builds on things like Zipw's GLM 4.5.
Right. It feels like part of a bigger trend.
It does. And it ties into what Gartner talks about with agentic AI.
Agentic AI, meaning AI that can do things, not just process info.
Exactly. Systems that can take actions, make decisions, operate more autonomously. R2 fits that mold, but, there's always the other side.
The ethical dimension.
Folks like at Ethics in AI raised concerns, warning about potential misuse, especially in places without strong regulations.
So it's that double-edged sword again. Making powerful AI open is great for developers, spurs innovation.
Huge win for accessibility, no doubt.
But you absolutely need guardrails and responsible deployment for it to be a net positive.
That's the crucial part. Deployment matters just as much as capability.
Okay, so we've covered the policy debates down in Australia, the raw power of DeepSeek R2.
Yeah.
Let's shift focus now, way, way out, beyond Earth.
The final frontier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
AI and space exploration. So August 10th, reports came out about NASA deploying this AI system called Astronet.
Ah, yes, Astronet, linked to the James Webb Space Telescope, right?
That's the one. It's designed specifically to analyze data pouring in from Webb exoplanet data.
Which is just a massive amount of information to sift through.
Totally. So what makes Astronet special? What can it do?
Well, again, it's multimodal AI. It looks at the images and the spectral data from Webb.
Okay, so processing different kinds of data together.
Right. And its main job is identifying potentially habitable exoplanets. And it does it with, reportedly, 90% accuracy.
90%. That's incredibly high for something so complex.
It is. And it also speeds up the analysis by 30%. Think about that. Finding potential new worlds almost a third faster.
That's a huge accelerator for discovery. Any specific finds credited to it yet?
Yeah, reports mentioned it played a key role in flagging 3 potential exoplanets back in July, so it's already delivering.
Wow. You can see why people like at Space Tech now are calling it a breakthrough. But this must raise bigger questions too, right? AI and science.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just space. We see things like Google's Aeneas helping decipher ancient texts in archaeology.
Right, so AI is becoming a tool across many scientific fields.
Definitely. But it also brings challenges. You see people like at AI Advocate online asking about over-reliance. Are we trusting the algorithms too much?
That's a fair question.
Hmm?
How do we know the AI's conclusions are right? Especially with something as unknown as exoplanets.
Exactly. It highlights the absolute need for robust validation. Human oversight is still critical. We need to understand how the AI reaches its conclusions.
And avoid pitfalls like data bias.
Precisely. TechTarget often warns about that. If the data going in is biased, the AI's findings might be skewed. So Astronet is amazing. It shifts the bottleneck from human analysis time to just gathering more data.
Opens up a whole new era of discovery.
For sure. But accuracy, transparency, careful validation, those are absolutely paramount. We can't skip that.
Okay, so let's try and tie these different threads together. We've got Australia debating rules, this super powerful DeepSeek R2 model, and AI finding planets with Astronet. What does it all mean?
It really feels like August 2025 was one of those moments, A snapshot of AI pushing boundaries everywhere.
Yeah, ethically, scientifically. So how do these pieces connect in the bigger picture?
Well, you see Australia being cautious on rules, maybe prioritizing that economic growth like we discussed.
But risking falling behind the EU AI Act or even what the US is doing.
Right. Then you have R2 making cutting-edge AI more available.
Which is great for innovation.
But raises those concerns about misuse, especially without global standards. It echoes worries about responsible scaling.
And Astronet. Transforming space science.
But underscoring that need for data integrity, for validation, making sure we trust the results. It's a recurring theme.
It seems like everyone's grappling with how to handle this incredibly fast-moving tech.
Absolutely. And look at the broader market stats. McKinsey found, 71% of organizations are using generative AI now?
71%, that's huge adoption.
It is. But here's the catch. Only 1% are considered mature in how they deploy it.
Only 1%. Wow. So lots of experimentation, but actually integrating it deeply and responsibly. Still early days for most.
Very early days. Scaling is tough. And Stanford's AI index keeps showing this global picture where, yeah, the US and China are leading development.
But everyone is involved. Everyone is affected.
Right. And global policies, like the Global AI Ethics Code, are trying to keep up, but it's hard. August really highlighted that potential for fragmentation the Guardian warned about.
Different rules everywhere, potentially conflicting.
Yeah, and that makes it harder to ensure AI benefits everyone, equitably and securely. Whether those benefits are economic growth or finding new worlds, there's this call for more unity, more coordinated governance.
So quite a journey we've taken just looking at August. From Australia's Regulatory Balancing Act to DeepSeek R2 pushing the open source envelope and AI reaching for the stars with Astronet.
It definitely paints a picture of a technology hitting its stride, forcing big questions.
It really does. August 2025 feels like a defining moment. So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe the thought to leave you with is this. How do we strike that balance?
The balance between
The incredible speed of AI innovation, which we saw clearly this month, and that essential need for uh, responsible, maybe collaborative global governance in this age of AI.
That's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? Finding that sweet spot.
It really is
Right.
something for all of us to keep thinking about. We
Yeah.
definitely encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning these developments alongside us.